Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, today's video is going to be all about Test captaincy, and I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to pick your Test captain and who you think should be the Test captain. Now, there's been quite a few candidates that people would like to see, and we're going to discuss that today. And I want to see you guys very active in the live comments. But before we get going into today's topic, please don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. So let's get into today's topic. So a lot of guys have been speaking about who is the logical choice, and especially when I interviewed Dean Algar last week, he told me that he believes that he's the logical choice. He did it with a little bit of a smirk and a laugh because of the situation that South Africa's in. Me personally, I'm going to talk about Dean Algar because I did write a column on Dean, and I said why I think he should be Test captain. I think that currently, with regards to experience, when you're picking our batting lineup, he's the first name on the team sheet with regard to the top order. He's been a very sturdy person at the top of the order for South Africa. And with regards to age and experience, I think he really is probably the most logical choice. Now, I would obviously like to see what Dean Algar is capable of. We've only seen him on two occasions captain the side. Once was obviously against England at Lordge in 2017. We lost that game, but he scored a 54. The other time that he captained the side, he didn't do so well against Pakistan in 2019, in January 2019, 11th of Jan to be precise. And he only managed to score two fives. Obviously, it wasn't the best of performances that he had in those particular matches, but two contrasting, obviously, results with regards to that. Now, when you're talking about Dean Algar, like I said before, I think that in the situation that South Africa's in, it's obviously a rebuilding phase, I would say. And Dean would be able to plug a hole for maybe a year or two, because I'm seeing what we can do to see out this Test Championship. I would like to see South Africa build a team for next year, the next Test Championship, because I don't think there's an opportunity for them to be able to win this current Test Championship. So I think someone needs to plug the hole until other candidates can put up their hand and get their performances back to a level that is acceptable. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Aiden Markram, and I see Aiden Markram as also one of the guys to be a future candidate, and I think he can be the future captain across all formats with regards to the way he is becoming one of the main players in the side. But he needs to obviously work his way back into the national setup. You can see he's not in the squads in the limited overs, and he was dropped from the England side. So to put Aiden Markram as a captain right now, before he has worked his way back into the side, I think that is a bit unfair. I think that's a bit risky. And I think he needs to focus on his run scoring ability first and foremost right now at this moment in time. There are loads of candidates in South Africa with regard to the mentality in the future. But just talking about some popular candidates that I've seen on social media, I think Aiden Markram is one of them. Temba Bavuma is another one, and people have been talking about. But I think he's kind of in the same boat as Aiden Markram. He needs to work his way back into get some runs, get some consistency before they can make him a captain. I don't think he'll be able to maybe handle that that pressure. We can see that both Aiden and Temba haven't really kicked on at domestic level this season quite yet. They need to do that. I mean, to fight for their place back into the side. Other players that are gunning for that position in the press side have been showing some great capabilities in this tournament so far. I mean, in the series so far. Another candidate is Keshav Maharaj, who came out a couple of last year, I think it was, when he came out and said he wants to be Test captain. It's a challenge that he'd like to see, and I know he has a massive fan club with regards to that. I think a lot of players, a lot of coaches rate him as a Test captain. They think that he has the ability. He hasn't been given the Test captaincy at a 4-day level, but that's obviously because he's obviously going to be a part of the 1-day series, as we can see, as the limited over series for the Proteas. So he wasn't going to be in the full, you would say, season of this 4-day series. My argument to that would be, though, um, he would have been able to captain the side for majority of the games, because the game goes on a break initially. When I thought, this is what I thought initially, because I thought the games go on a break and he wouldn't be in the limited overs sides. That was my first hunch. And the way the games run, they end 23rd of December, I think it is. So it's before the Test series. So he would have been able to actually take the team quite deep into the 4-day series. But now we've seen that he's part of the limited over series and he's in the plans. And I feel that's why he hasn't captained on a 4-day level. And also Marcus Ackerman, great captain, great future captain for the Dolphins as well. Another candidate I would say is someone people have been saying, KG Rabada, but I'm not really sure about how KG's captaincy abilities. I don't think I've ever seen him be a captain. He's an amazing player. Obviously the star player in that side from a bowling perspective, and a really excellent player. So it is it is a difficult thing to just throw him into the captaincy as well right now. I think he needs to be that bowler. I think he needs to play with freedom. I think that captaincy, we might restrict him from being that fiery character that we know, that KG that we know, because I don't want KG to change. I actually would love to see the ICC rules change for KG, because I'd like the fiery side that he shows, and the fire that he has in his belly that he shows, and that attitude and aggression. It's amazing to see him in full action. But that's just my take on some of the candidates. I can see some of you guys are talking to me right now in the comment section. Let's get into it. Reginald says that Dean Alger is his choice for skipper. Bad Panda saying he agrees. Tex says Rassie van der Dussen, a very capable candidate. I just feel that Rassie is quite new in the side. Having a guy that can, I know that you can say the same thing for Aiden, but Aiden has already played a full year as well for South Africa. But and the only reason you pick Aiden is for the longevity and for the future. That's the only reason I would go with a guy like Aiden. But the logical choice right now, I feel, is Dean Alger with regards to experience. So I don't think Rassie. I think Rassie needs to be able to just focus on his batting and bat the best that he can in the number 4 position. Verne Erasmus says, I do agree that it should be Alger until Malcolm has regained his form and cemented his place, whether it is 1, 2, or 3 years, at which time Markram can hopefully take over. And I agree with that sentiment 100%. And that's my reason for saying Dean Alger. Also, Dean Alger and Aiden Markram have an incredible relationship. You can hear how he spoke to me, Aiden spoke to me in his interview about Dean Alger and in previous interviews as well. He really has a very good relationship with Dean, and he's always spoken highly of Dean and how he has learned from Dean Alger. So even if they make Aiden Markram, if he gets back into the test side again as the opener, as a designated opener next to Dean, he'll be able to learn from Dean, and they'll be able to share things with each other. And you'll be able, and I know that you'd love to nurture Aiden into something special. So it's a good point that you're making here, Werner, and I like that thinking. We got Original saying he agrees. Janine saying yes, Bavuma as an option. Abai saying he doesn't believe Bavuma is quite ready for captaincy. He needs to achieve a greater level of consistency first. And I think that is, with all the candidates, that is the main thing that people have to think about. They have to think about whether they are ready or not, whether these players can get the consistency back. And that's going to be the key for these candidates. I have to say that I agree with Abai on this one. Khalid for selection. I mean, no, I would not like that headache. We saw how difficult it is when we did our selection. Or when we did our selection show, we couldn't settle on the side. I don't want that headaches. I'm not jealous of Victor Ipetsang at all. So, Panda says, don't think bowlers are suited to captain, especially in Test cricket. Interesting point. There have been some bowlers that have been Test captains in other countries, but that's got to do with their input and ability on the fans. On the team that they have. Abai obviously saying, I'm all in for Dino. So there are a lot of candidates. There's a lot of talk that I've heard with regards to these people. But we have a caller on that's going to give us his thoughts before we wrap up the show. Let's bring on Lububalo and to just give his comments on which candidates. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Still don't have a test captain. You're 100% correct. I'm going to ask you to give your thoughts on every candidate that I mentioned, because there's been a lot of talk on Twitter, you would have seen on social media, guys throwing out names. I've kind of narrowed it down to a few. I've narrowed it down to either Dean, Demba Bavuma, Aiden Markram, Keshav Maharaj, or Kagiso Rabada. Those are the 5 guys that I've seen around on social media. Let's have your say. Can you maybe give me a little bit on each of those guys?
By the way, how's it? I'm gonna start with KG. Personally, I'm not big on having your fast bowler as your captain. He's the guy. He's the guy. You want, as you said, you want to see KG with that fire. You want to see him bowling and not bowling within himself. I think being captain might force him to be it might force him to be bowling a little bit within himself, because it's gonna mean he's gonna have to be less aggressive as captain and be that guy who tries and be in a shell of some sort. So for me, he's out as captain. I'm not sure whether he's captained before, but I'd rather have KG steaming in, being aggressive, screaming, doing whatever, as long as he's doing that and taking wickets. Keshav, playing for SA as a spinner is not easy. You're never guaranteed that you're going to start. For instance, let's say we're playing here at home. We have a test series at home. What are the chances that Keshav is going to start if we're playing at the Wanderers as captain? So that's another question that we would have to have an answer to. Or are we saying that even though he was captain, whenever we decide to go without a spinner, he's still going to sit out, and then the vice captain is going to take over, and then that means there's no sort of continuity, because the captain, you want to have someone who's going to start unless he's injured. So you want someone who's always going to be starting games. So it sort of makes it a bit difficult for Keshav to be captain unless he's going to be captain and bat 7. But then that's another question: is he capable? He definitely is capable, but he hasn't shown that he hasn't shown that capability of being able to actually come through with the bat. He's shown it every now and then, but I'm not sure whether he's ready to bat 7 in the test team yet. The other one, Dean Elgar. I remember he was captain in England, and I was not impressed with his captaincy. It was a bit. I rate Dean as a batsman. He's not someone that's nice to watch, to be honest, but he's very effective. Playing in tough conditions, swinging conditions, he's one of the first people that I'd say Dean Elgar is going to score 100. But now, as captain, he sort of looked like he was. I know he was filling in for Faf, but he was making it look a bit too obvious that he's not the captain and he's filling in for someone. I was not impressed. Field setting was too defensive. You could see even when he was using his bowlers that he was sort of just trying to survive the 5 days so that Faf can come back and then he can say, I'm not captain again. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh because it was one match. He was captain apparently against Pakistan, and for some reason I don't remember that. So I think that also says something about his kids. I don't remember him being captain against Pakistan. So, but yeah, it's a tough one. I think going the Dean Elgar route would be probably a safe route. It would just be, we're saying we don't see anyone at the moment who could be captain, so we'll just go in with the guy that we know he's going to score 100 every 5 innings whenever we think it's time to drop him. And he's probably one of the few guys that would say it's not time to drop them yet. He's one of the most experienced in the side. I believe is probably the second most experienced in terms of number of matches. So he would be a safe route. And then there's another option of a Temba Bavuma. He's been captain for the Lions. He's done it really well. He's actually scored runs for the Lions, even as captain as well. But now there's a lot of questions around his spot in the team now, in the test team. There are a lot of questions around his spot in the test team. And while a lot of people might think Temba's not good enough as a test batsman, some are probably saying he's struggling for form. I personally don't believe Temba's issue is form or quality. It's just that whenever he's on form, he doesn't score big enough. That's why his numbers look the way they look. Whenever Temba's on form, he's going to score you a good 60. He's going to score you a good 80. Are those good enough to get your average at 40 or 40 plus? No. So I think for him, one thing that he probably needs to work on, because if you could look at his numbers, he has a lot of double figures, a lot of scores between 10 and let's say between 10 and 100. Or okay, he only has 100, so let's use 90. A lot of scores between 10 and 60, for instance. So he actually does get in, but then he sort of gives it away. That's also part of his game that you'd want him to work on. But as captain, I think he's capable. He would make a really good captain. But now there's so many questions around his spot in the team that you sort of doubtful that making him captain would actually be this point in time. But then again, there's also Aiden Makram on the other side. He's also someone that's struggled for runs in the last few matches that he played for the Proteas. He's also struggling in the 4-day cricket as well. For me, it's between the two of them. It's between Aiden Makram and Temba Bavuma. I guess it depends on whoever finds his scoring runs, his runs first, then it's probably going to be captain. But I'd personally go with I rate him as a leader. I rate him as a batsman as well. He's struggling at the moment, but he's probably going to come. He's going to come good eventually.
So, guys, there you have it. That's Lobobalo's take. You heard my take and who we think. We kind of going versus each other right now. Let us know in the comment section after this video is done. Let us know in the comment section what you think. So that your comments are there permanently, not only in the live comments. So thanks a lot, guys, for obviously giving your say. We have a daily wrap on our website as well with regards to the domestic scene. You can go to cricketfanaticsmag.com to go find our daily wrap of the 4-day series, which Abai has been doing, and he's been very diligent with that, with regards to that. Don't forget to obviously like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to download the latest issue of the magazine. The link is on the screen and the description. If you guys have a business and you're looking to obviously automate your sales process, and you're also looking to build leads and customers, etc., click on the link in the description below. We will try to help you guys out there. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.